Alright guys, I'm sure you're just going to be completely shocked with what we're going to do today. We're going to leave more things in jars. I think the last time I left things in Drano, I'm pretty sure the last time I left grass in Drano, and the Drano pretty much just dissolved all the grass. So I figured, let's try that again with some different plants. So our first plant is going to be this thing that I don't even know what this thing is. I just found it growing in my yard, so I just kind of pulled it out, and we're going to shove it in a jar and put Drano in it. Just going to kind of, I guess, break it off here. Alright, let's see if we can just kind of... Oh, it has a weird smell. Oh, there's a spider in there. Let's just kind of jam this down in there. Alright, so that's going to be our first one. Our second one is going to be this branch that I ripped off of my tree. I might be able to just fold this one in half and get most of this in here. Yeah. And then the third isn't really so much a plant. It's just kind of something I was curious about. And I just have some pieces of wood. And of course it's like processed wood. I don't remember what it came off of, but it's some type of processed wood. I'm just really curious to see if the Drano, like if it'll do anything to it, if it'll dissolve it, or I don't think it'll dissolve it, but I just want to see if it'll do anything to it. So those are going to be the three items. Alright, so we have our wood, our mysterious plant that had a bunch of spiders in it, whatever that thing was called, and then we have our branch from our tree. So let's fill these up with Drano. Alright, you guys know the drill by now. All the jars are full. I'll see you in 30 days. Alright guys, so obviously it's been 30 days since we put these plants in here with this Drano. It's not looking very good for the plants, honestly. I mean, if you look at these two, these are both almost completely bleached white. Especially this one. This one, except for just a little bit here, isn't quite bleached all the way white. This looks, like if you look up close to this jar, whatever kind of plant this was that was in here, it looks like it's intact, but it's just been bleached white. But I would suspect that whenever I dump it out, I think that it's probably not actually intact, and that it's probably just gonna kind of deteriorate, just like I believe the grass did. This one, I don't know. It could be dissolved. It could not be dissolved. It could just be bleached white. I don't really know, because it's kind of bleached white in certain spots and it's not in certain spots. So I don't really know. And as for these wood blocks right here, I have no idea what's going on in there. Thick foam layer up here. And I've been kind of keeping an eye on these, you know, every week or so. And it's had this, it didn't get this foam layer until about 2 weeks ago. And then the last 2 weeks, it's just kind of stayed there. So I don't know what that means, and I don't know what's going on in there. So let's start dumping these out and see what's going on. All right, so jar number 1. Let's see what's going on inside of here. Oh, you can see up at the top, some stuff that hasn't been touched by the Drano. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Oh, wow. That's not really dissolved hardly at all. That's pretty much just bleached white. Let me see if I can pull some of this away where you can see the stalk. Yeah, there's the stalk. And that's not... Wow, that's actually still very much intact, very strong. So, yeah, that didn't dissolve hardly at all. Like, I mean, yeah, if you pull this off here, maybe here. Let's see, yeah, like if you take two pieces that are completely bleached white and look at them, yeah, it is weaker, I guess you could say. You know, they pull apart very easily. By no means is it dissolved, but Of course, the Drano did weaken it a little bit, which honestly is surprising to me because the grass was like completely dissolved. Like I couldn't even pick any of it up because it was so dissolved. And I figured this would have at least I figured that would happen at least like halfway with this. Like maybe half of it would be dissolved, half of it wouldn't. Parts of it would be dissolved maybe. Of course this wasn't grass either. This was just I don't even know what it was, just some like random weed that was in my yard. All right, now let's move on to our second jar, which was like the branch with the leaves on it and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and make an educated guess before I dump this out and say that since this other one wasn't dissolved, I don't think this one's gonna be dissolved, but I think maybe the leaves are gonna be probably just more brittle, maybe. I don't really know. I'm just kind of making stuff up at this point, honestly. Oh yeah. Wow, some of these are actually still pretty green. This has a weird smell to it. It smells like dirty nature, if that even makes any sense. Because it smells like the woods, but it smells like the woods next to like a landfill or something. So, wow, why does that smell so bad? Let's check out these leaves. I don't know. That doesn't even really feel like it's that weak. That just kind of feels like a regular leaf to me. Maybe they're very slightly weaker, maybe. The wood here, maybe we'll go right here. No, that doesn't seem, not even the slightest bit weaker. That's just like, wow, this really didn't do much to this at all. I figured that the Drano would have done more. The branch, the stick part of this, it just kind of feels the same. Looks the same. It's not bleached. It's not weak. The leaves are pretty much the same. Even the ones that have completely bleached are just as strong. Maybe just a tiny bit weaker than the other ones, but for the most part, it's the same. All right, so now let's check out these wood blocks. After these last two, I have very little hope that anything has really happened to these. Wow, that lid. I left the lid loose. Seems like it kind of got stuck. Like I said before, it's kind of foamy. So I'm just gonna take a little taste test. No, I'm not. All right, I don't think I even have to pour this out. Create as little bit of a mess as possible. That is the goal when playing with Drano. You don't want it everywhere. So you can see, the board is definitely bleached white. Oh. And I don't want to say, it's softer, but it's not like super soft. Maybe you can tell I just kind of ripped that piece off. Like I don't know if I have enough. I'm not gonna be able to break that, but like if I take my fingernail and just kind of dig it in here, you can see where it's kind of eaten off the top layer of wood. Maybe if I left these in here for maybe like a year or something, maybe it would eat away at all the wood. It's hard underneath that top layer. So that's kind of cool. It actually kind of did eat away at the wood. I am kind of curious to see if I left this in a jar for say 2 years, would it eat away at the entire piece of wood, or what would happen? Will Drano dissolve plants? Yes and no. technically grass is a plant, and it did dissolve the grass in my last video. But when it comes to, I guess, bigger, more durable plants, no, it won't dissolve them. Or at least not in 30 days. The wood, I mean, maybe if I would have left these plants in here for like, say like a year, year and a half, 2 years, maybe it would have dissolved them. I don't really think so, especially ones like considering the leaves where they're so thin, being in there for 30 days and they still weren't much weaker than just a regular leaf. I'm gonna say no, but on really small plants like grass and maybe like some really small flowers or something, yeah, it'll dissolve them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.